Hi children, open your social science textbook. Lesson number chapter 1 sources. In this chapter, you learn the sources of the history. Sources required to the study of history, types of sources of history, importance of the archaeological sources, importance of the inscription, importance of oral sources in history. Okay, come to the point. History is a systematic study of the past. History is written on the basis of sources. Hence, there is no source, no history. In the stance of history, historians is like an advocate. The advocate present their arguments on the basis followed evidence and sources related to their case. Similarly, historians also collect the sources, subject them to critical examination, analysis, and then write the history. So whenever direct sources are not available, they need to make assumptions also sometimes, right? Okay, come to the point. What is the source? Human beings had created many facilities to lead their life since ancient times. If the things used by human beings in the past have remained, then they are called the sources by historians. Come to the point. And there are two types of sources. One is literary sources, and second one is archaeological sources. And again, literary sources are in two types: written literature, oral literature. What is written literature? We can see written literature is the main source of literary sources. Literature can bring the contemporary social life of the times of the writer alive to us. A literary work portrays as then existing aspects of the life, either directly or indirectly. Again, the literary sources are two types: native literature and foreign literature. Native literature means, for example, a person who lives with the king, so he is called the native literature. Foreign literature means who visits the kingdom and writes. Then there are so many literature works done by the others. So in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, and all the languages. That means, so then if you observe, so we have then few sources. So from native literatures, so those people are, for example, you see the native literature by Kautilya's Ardhasastra, then King Hala's Gata Saptasati, and Vaishaka Datta's Mudra Raksha. Next, Kalhana's Rajatarangani, Banabhatta's Harsha Charita. Next, Chanda Bardaya's so Prithvi Raja Raso, Pampa's Vikraramarjuna Vijaya, Sangama literature, and many other such literary. That means these are some examples of native literatures by some people. And when it comes to the point of foreign literatures, so then so many foreigners who visited India as travelers, ambassadors, businessmen, officials, and so missionaries have recorded their observation in experience in their works. These works are considered as foreign literature. For example, Megasthenes. So then he wrote, after visiting India, he wrote Indica. Okay, in that then he mentions the lifestyle of Indians. Next to Fahins. So then Gokoki, Hian Sang, Siyuki, Tolimsa, geography. Like this way, then people who observed and they wrote their experience, that is called foreign literature. By the native literature's work and foreign literature works, then we can come to know how then the lives of the people of those period. Next, when it comes to the point of oral literature means the folk stories, folk songs, folk legends, ballads. That means common people. Then common people they express their lifestyle and all in their song style or folk style. So those called, and passing one person to another person. That is called so oral literature. And when it comes to then by generation to generation, the folk people have created ballads about their local heroes, their ballads, then something like this. So automatically, so that is also recorded as so as a source. Next one, archaeological sources. So these are definitely very important because so we have the proofs. Archaeological sources are divided into four types: inscriptions, coins, monuments, other ruins. For example, you see, so archaeological sources are available not only on the surface of the earth but also hidden deep in the depths of the earth. The hidden things on earth are dug out by the using scientific methods. This process is called the excavation. Understand? So Harappan civilization came to light only due to the process of excavation. So that means when they dig the land, automatically the whole things are coming out. During the excavation, ruins of buildings, inscriptions, coins, terracotta pieces, then bangles, seals, beads, bones, pieces, metal, and other have been found. These are analyzed by applying various scientific methods to understand the lives of the people of those times. Come to the point of inscription. So inscriptions mean engraved writing. So on the stones. Okay, if you visit any temple, you can see something written on the walls of the temple. Okay, that is called inscription. Inscriptions are written on stone, rock, metal, ivory, terracotta, and other materials that last longer. So like this way, by this also, then we can understand then how those people lived. So then we can see most of his inscriptions are in Brahmi scripture. For example, if you observe Ashoka's most inscriptions are in Brahmi Lipi. Then after their language is Prakriti. Thousands of inscriptions are found in Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, and other languages. Understand, children? So then this is also one kind of source for history. And next one, coins. You observe, see. So when the excavation done, so we found so many coins like this way. And monuments are the major source to written history, because palaces, temples, forts, you observe now so many places. Suppose Mysore palace, so then Vijaypura, then Gol Gumbas. So these people, and next Taj Mahal. So all these are called monuments. Then Red Fort. So by this also, then we come to know how the people were so in the past. Then other ruins based on the various pieces of so terracotta, bangles, and beads also. So then we found then some kind of lifestyle of those people. Understand, children? Yes. So the biological ruins, like these dead animals, birds, and trees found in these sites, and can arrive at the accurate period of the ruins. Buddha stupas came to light during the excavation at Sannati in Yadagiri district, and Rajghatta of Dodbalapur Taluk. Like this way, so many excavations. These are the things you try to understand. The sources, the main sources of the history are. So these are the things you please revise and answers these questions. Understand, children? Have a nice day.